Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushua Ba'Shem B'Krakadash. Giving double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who will well teach all sound doctrine, and peace and blessings to your elect. Now, I'm just going to do a quick video just to help, keep, brothers motivated, and even, sisters in the truth, who are a part of the hopeful elect to keep on the right path and just keep doing what you're supposed to, because we ain't got that much time left. And Adawan Ratazah, the Lord comes back and he's pleased, with what, with how we've conducted ourselves and what we've done, because we all want to be a part, of course we all want to be a part of the elect. So we have to do what we're supposed to be doing. Oh yeah, let me start from up here. I almost forgot about this. This is Matthew 19:27. Then Peter said, Salakia. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And every one that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or fathers, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold. And that's talking about, you putting this truth before every single thing in your life, and you're making sure that it's your number one priority. Despite you may have, certain things going on in your life that may be hard, or you may have a woman who may be trying to entice you to kind of break away. You ain't supposed to give stuff like this any type of edge. You're supposed to remain sober and focused, and continue doing what you're supposed to be doing, man. I shall inherit everlasting life, but many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Let me get straight to these precepts. And this is really, of course, we in this truth, we in this flesh. So this is just, a video, for brothers, man, just to keep your eyes on the prize, man, because we almost there. Blessed are ye, Matthew 5:8. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see, God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children, of the Most High. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And of course, this is talking about the elect. This is talking about the children of Israel, starting with the elect, of course, because we know it's written that all Israel shall be saved, and Israel's going to be ruling forever. So we know that's very well true. But this is really pertaining unto the elect. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Because the elect are going to be the first fruits in the kingdom of heaven. And when you think about it, for how great the kingdom of heaven is going to be a part of their quote unquote, the founding fathers, that's going to be a true honor. And even, the women that are part of the elect, they're going to have great honor as well. Matthew 5:11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil towards you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Because everything that's going on now, you may get stuff thrown at you, you may get looks, you may get someone walk past and just spit on the floor, whilst they're walking. You may get dirty looks, you may get nasty remarks, every little thing under the sun. But that isn't supposed to deter you. That's supposed to, if anything, that's supposed to make you go harder, man. Because if you weren't doing what you're supposed to do, because you gotta put into perspective, we in a wicked kingdom. So if they were happy with what you're doing and you're in a wicked kingdom, then you really need to reevaluate what's going on. Because if you being, what do you call it? If you're being applauded, if they're happy with what you're doing in a wicked kingdom, that means that means what you're doing is some type of wickedness, or something to that effect. But if they really don't like what you're doing, it's because you're really speaking the truth. You're really speaking against their wickedness, and they don't really like to hear about that. So of course they're going to be against you, because they like their king. They like where they're living, and what you're saying is basically making them feel uncomfortable, even though it's what they need to hear. Because their pastor will be telling them what they want to hear, but we tell them what they need to hear. And it's like in the kingdom, we gonna be, what's worth, giving this up, man. We, like I said, we gonna have many wives, man. Man, you know, all kinds of beautiful, wives, man. We gonna be we gonna have tears of joy, man. Can you imagine having tears of joy in this kingdom, man? you know, all you have is tears of pain. You go to a funeral, or you hear a family member dies, man, and then you just feel upset. Those are the type of tears that But tears of joy, that's some for how we're living right now. That's something completely foreign, man. This is gonna be the greatest rags to riches story ever being told in the history of the earth, man. It's gonna be much greater than we ever imagined. It's going, like, the first Come to America movie, man. It's going completely. Even though Akeem didn't really go from rags to riches, he went from riches to pretending he was poor. But we're gonna, what I'm saying is we're gonna far surpass, the wealth that was being shown in that movie, man. It's gonna be beyond our imagination. Let this Psalms 195. Let the saints be joyful in the glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the Psalms 149 and 6. Let the high praise of Yahweh be in their mouths, and a two-edged sword in their hands. Because this in the kingdom. Because it's gonna be the big payback. Because these heathens are gonna serve their sentence, man. To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with threads of iron. And just to drop a little note, even in this, we have concubines as well, because those are the spoils of war. But what they did, because we've been under every nation on the face of the earth, so what they did to us is gonna be double what we're gonna do unto them, man. And when you see this, they'll look at you funny. They'll say all kinds of things, but isn't that just? Ain't that a just punishment? Because even when you're young, your parents and someone hit you, your parents will be like, hey, if someone hits you, go hit them back. So what's the difference with this? To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with what's this? To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with threads of iron. And those threads are those, if I'm not mistaken, they're those yokes. Yokes that you can you tie it to something. You basically chain people. You basically can chain people to something. And starting at their kings. Speaking of these Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and Dahlman, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints, praise ye the Lord. And this is Revelation 21 and 10. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me the great city, show me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven, from the Most High. Because, Jerusalem is a people before it's a place that, this is talk about the elect coming out of the chariots. Having the glory of the Most High, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. And this is really what is going into the dimensions, you know, of what the kingdom. You're gonna be like, we're gonna have streets of transparent. We're gonna have streets of gold, man. We have streets of concrete now. You know how much of an elevation that is. You have to really find you really have to look hard for, you really, when you go to find gold, you have to look good for gold, for a good amount. You're telling me we just gonna have streets just paved with gold, man, like this, like it's nothing. That's gonna be dope. having glory of having glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. On the east 3 gates, of course, when it says the 12 tribes of Israel, for those who you may not know, you got both sticks, northern and southern kingdom. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, Gad, Asher, Simeon, Reuben, all the tribes this is concerning, man, because we are one anyway. Of course, we got broken into 2 different kingdoms, under King Solomon, after that point. And the wall of the city are 12 foundations, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. The 12 apostles, same thing as the 12 disciples that were on the scene. Of course, the chief among them, the chief apostle being, Simon Peter, who was also King David, coming back. And he talked with me, and I had to go to read to measure the city, and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof. And the city lieth 4 square, and the length is as large as the breadth. And he measured the city with the reed 12,000 furlongs. The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal. And he measured the wall thereof 140 cubits, according to the measurement of a man. Let me just go. Okay. And the building of the walls was of jasper, and the city was pure gold, like unto clear glass. So you gotta put that into perspective, man. What you can't even, we have a hard time imagining this. So what is here? What's the worry about when you look at what the rewards we're gonna get? Even some of the rewards, you just want to melt. Different planets. Because what did the Lord say? My father's house are many mansions. If it weren't so, I would not have told you. What the scripture? What is it saying? Daniel's the states of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess it forever and ever. You got nothing to worry about, man. Because it's gonna be nothing but enjoyment pretty soon. And the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manner of precious stones. The first foundation was jasper, the second sapphire, the third Chaldony, the first emerald, and these are all when even in this time very expensive. I was gonna say jewelry, or I was gonna say stones, any way you wanna call it. They're very, they're what you call expensive. So you gotta imagine how, we're gonna be balling, man. The 8th, the 5th sardonyx, the 6th sardius, the 7th chrysolite, the 8th beryl, the 9th topaz, the 10th chrysophorus, the 8th jacinth, the 12th amethyst, And the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gates was of one pearl, and the street of the city was pure gold, as it was transparent glass, like I was talking about before, man. So if our streets are looking better than the riches of these richest people's houses, man, how much better than our actual infrastructure? We're gonna have the mind of gods, man. You gotta imagine what's our infrastructure gonna be like? What's our technology gonna be like? What's our, what's transportation? What's our, we are trying, our chart gonna look like? It's gonna be on a different level. Let me jump down. And the city, Revelation 21 and 23, the city had no need for sun, neither moon to shine in it, for the glory, you know, for the, I'll read it verbatim. For the glory of God did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof, and the nations of them which are saved shall walk in that light of it, and the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor it. And these are the other nations. They're gonna be bringing us their riches and whatnot, man. Like what's that word? Can't remember that word. Can't remember that word, but just like how we used to bring them, like when they were oppressing us, we would have to bring them stuff, and even now we have to pay these guys taxes. And the gates of it shall not be shut day or night, for there shall be no night there, and they shall bring glory and honor of the nations into it. For I really should have brought this out earlier, but here it is. For since the beginning of the world, men have not heard nor perceived by the ear. Isaiah 6, Isaiah 64 and 4. For since the beginning of the world, men have not heard nor perceived by the ears, neither have the eye seen, O God, beside thee, what he hath prepared for him that waiteth for him. So this is gonna be something, no amount of movies that we've watched, nothing that we've even witnessed or dreamed about, nothing, is gonna compare to the real thing. We literally gonna be crying. Can you imagine, man? Even feeling like you're not even deserving of this, even though the Lord is pleased with you. And I'm gonna close it out with this. Zephaniah 3 and 19. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth thee, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where we've been put to shame. So we got a lot to look forward to, man, because every land we were put to shame. All these nations look at us derogatorily. They look at us like we're nothing, but hey, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to make a big change to that. And in closing, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Kadash. Hope this lesson was edifying and exhorting. And in closing, I want to say shalom.